Hello and welcome to another Israeli Frenemies. We had a packed week. We have a lot to talk about. Hi, Ari Fold. How are you?
Fantastic. We had an amazingly packed week. Some good, some bad, but it was definitely a packed week. I think we're going to have a great show today.
I think so too. So let's dive right into the issues.
So this week, Israel had a very special visit. In fact, the whole Middle East had a special visit. President Donald J. Trump traveled from Saudi Arabia, then into Israel, met with the Prime Minister of Israel, and then met with Mr. Abbas, Abu Mazen. And the echo of that trip, I think, is going to be going on for a long time. The question that remains, I think, in all our minds is, what does it mean? Where is he going from here? I think, personally, the fact that he went into the web of the Islamic regimes and pointed a finger and said, guys, you got to be involved in fighting radical Islamic terrorism. Then he went to Abbas and in his face said to him, you got to stop paying terrorists. And then he gave a very big hug to Israel. I think it was a great visit. What he's going to do in the future? You know what? I would have put my money on it.
Still to be seen. Still to be seen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think, look, first of all, I agree with your analysis. It was an important visit. I think viewers who are watching us regularly know that I'm a big fan of President Obama. I thought he did a great job as the leader of the free world, but I think he did some mistakes vis-a-vis the Middle East, and not necessarily regarding policy, but regarding, how would I say it, personal warmth. And I think what Trump did, both in Saudi Arabia, with the Saudi king himself, and with the leadership of the Middle East, Middle Eastern countries and Muslim countries, and especially here in Israel, I think he reads the Israeli public better. I think for Israelis many times, and you know, some past leaders knew how to do it very well, like Anwar Sadat, the late Egyptian president, who knew exactly which buttons to push.
Well, he was serious afterwards.
He was serious, but he was also very warm. Once he decided to be here, King Hussein as well, and Bill Clinton had that very much. I mean, regardless whether you were from the right or the left.
I agree with you. 100%.
And Obama neglected this point of reaching out to the Israelis, who are very, how would I say it, sensitive to how they are treated. And I think Trump, in that manner, did the right thing. He didn't say anything, by the way.
Well, he said a lot of things. He said, I think there were three things, in my opinion, I think there were three things that he said, which to me, my jaw dropped. They really hit the floor. The first thing he said, which I think if I was a Muslim, I'd be offended. He said Jews praise their prayers in the Western Wall. The Christians pray in the church of the special, I think it was in the Old City. And then he said the Muslims pray in their holy sites. He would not mention Al-Aqsa. To me, it was mind-blowing. I didn't think it was good or bad. I just thought it was shocking. In other words, that's all these places. That was one. And then he said, when he talked about Jerusalem, and he said the Jews' heritage here, his quote was, is ancient and eternal. I mean, that was mind-blowing to me. That was fantastic.
But he didn't, what he didn't say, there were many talks in his campaign and on the eve of his arrival about moving the embassy, nothing about that.
Right, absolutely, no, I understand.
He went to the Kotel, to the Wailing Wall on his own with no official Israeli presence. And what we hear that behind the scenes, he's now talking on issues that after, you know, making this warm reception, which will be very hard to criticize him afterwards, his people are talking now about switching areas C to areas B
it's a report.
in the West Bank for the Palestinian Authority. They are talking about renewal of the negotiations with serious talks about a two-state solution.
No mention.
That's what the background, I don't know.
Here's the thing. I want to, you know, someone who's, I told you, I was pro-Trump more because the choices were not really good for me. I'll be frank with you. If he goes the other way, I'll stand here and say, I'm very disappointed. In fact, I'm very disappointed.
But you would not say he's anti-Semitic or pro-Muslim,
let me finish my sentence.
things that you used to say to on Obama.
What I'm saying about Trump is the following. I think he went, you know, further than any other president in terms of his statements, in terms of his warmth. In other words, he didn't mention a two-state solution. He didn't mention a Palestinian state by the PLO, not by us. When he's saying Abbas, he never mentioned them. Abbas was talking about the settlements, about this. He didn't mention it. He said, you got to stop paying terrorists. He went to Saudi Arabia. He didn't mention Israel at all. He said, you got, one second. And then he came to Israel.
Fine. Okay, but let me finish. Yeah, but we have a very short time.
Then he came to Israel. He didn't mention settlements. He didn't mention this. Nothing.
You're
nothing.
completely right. And I'm not, and I think neither the right nor the left at this point can rejoice on his statements. I think some
I can rejoice on his statements. I don't know what he's going to do, but I can rejoice
exactly.
on his statements.
I think that his statements can lead to anything. And I think if he's actually going to go for a process now, I think from an objective point of view, he has a much better way to start a negotiation than his predecessor in that sense, because he's so welcomed here now. And he did some of those symbolic issues.